Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM, AM 630. WMAL.
It's 8:37 on the Morning Majority, and I'm very excited to talk to Kurt Loder, former editor of Rolling Stone. Worked at MTV for years, MTV News, a staple of my sort of musical upbringing.
Sure.
And he also is a guy who shares my feelings that Michael Bloomberg's nanny statism makes him a scary guy. So, how's it going, Kurt?
Okay, how are you this morning?
Very good. So tell me a little bit about the book. What's the premise? What's it about? It's called The Good, the Bad, and the God-Awful, 21st Century Movie Reviews.
It's about, well, it's movie reviews. It's a collection of 200-some movie reviews I've written over the last 7 years. And it's got movies in there that you know of, you've seen, but I tried to cover a lot of indie movies and films that come out and kind of disappear and they're really worth seeing, but you don't have a chance, because I think today if a movie comes out and doesn't make its $100 million on opening weekend, it sort of slinks out of sight and we never see it again. So the world of DVDs is an essential resource.
So I don't know about the best movie. I don't really care about that. But what's the worst movie? What's number one on the God Awful list?
Oh, I don't know if there's any number one, but I don't know. Did you see MacGruber last year?
No.
MacGruber?
MacGruber.
It was from that SNL skit.
It's based on an SNL skit, and it was bad in every way. There was not one redeeming feature. It was just insulting to your intelligence. And I think any of the the later M. Night Shyamalan movies, Lady in the Water and The Happening, and he's such a talented guy, and yet he just went way off the rails after The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable. So that's always depressing to see something like that happen.
Has Hollywood gotten too safe? I mean, going for the formula, the rehash, the 1, 2, 3 movies, and not taking any real chances with something that's edgy, new, and different?
Well, there are edgy and new and different movies, but they're not necessarily coming from major studios. It's tempting to do remakes. It's tempting to for middle-aged Hollywood executives to say, "Boy, I really like that TV show in my youth. Let's do Land of the Lost." And, I think when the kid audience that's the main audience for movies sees this stuff, they've never heard of Land of the Lost. They don't care about your childhood. They just see a really bad movie. So, yeah, there's a lot of misguided notions in Hollywood, but there are great movies that come out all the time.
Kurt, music is important to me, and my friend Brian Neiman here, my colleague,
right here,
he's got some really serious misunderstandings about the importance of certain artists. For example, he doesn't believe that the Beatles' music is significant in any way.
Well, I didn't say that. I think they're overrated.
And he thinks Elvis was like what? How would you describe
Even more overrated than the Beatles.
Explain to him why these two artists are seminal in the development of the music.
I would like to hear that, yeah.
Do you think they were?
Overrated in what regard?
No, do you think they were seminal? I'm trying to help him understand that these two artists are seminal to the development of music that we hear even today.
I think so, yeah. I think there's always a reflex to come out and be kind of bold and a rebel and say, no, Mozart, who was he?
Yeah.
But
him too.
What's your reasoning on that?
There's no reason. I just don't. I like all kinds of music as well. I love Bruce Springsteen. I like Jackson Brown. I like singer-songwriters. I listen. NWA played a big role in my life. Yeah, so I like it all. I kind of get into country these days. I just could never understand. I don't own one Beatles record.
Huh.
Oh my God!
They don't do anything for me. And Elvis to me is just I don't get Elvis.
Well, that's okay. I mean, you're allowed. It doesn't reach you. It doesn't speak to you. That's okay. It leaves more records for the rest of us, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Although it leaves some of us very baffled.
Well, I'll lay off him. He's allowed that.
Thank you, Chris.
This is a free country. That's okay.
Well, at least it is today.
So you're a guy who was there sort of at the beginning of MTV, back when they played lots of music videos, and you're also from the Jersey Shore.
I am.
I wonder what you think of Jersey Shore.
I can't really tell you much about that because I tuned it in one night for 5 minutes and stopped because I'm not the audience for that.
Yeah.
I don't like reality television, and it's not real. It's not based on reality. I'm just not the demographic, so I can't really say much about that except that I understand the people on it are not from New Jersey. That's that's a little insulting, I think.
What do you make of where MTV has gone? I mean, like Mary Kath and I used to watch MTV all the time growing up, and I remember even in early times we would run to the television when we knew Thriller was going to come on.
Yeah.
Remember the great debate of if that was a better video than U2, Sunday Bloody Sunday.
And Sledgehammer also.
Yeah, so I mean, I remember those days. I remember them fondly, and we like music, but those days are gone from MTV.
Well, yeah, but
it's kind of sad.
These are different times. When I was a kid, and when you were a kid too, I suppose your parents probably hated the music and the movies you were seeing and hearing, and because they didn't get it. And this is a different time. There's a different audience, and there's an enormous audience that loves reality TV. And MTV has that audience, and they serve it with reality TV, and they'd be remiss in not doing it to their shareholders, if nothing else. So I understand what they're doing. They're doing it very successfully. This is not the days when you played music videos, which are available everywhere. You can't be unique anymore in playing music videos. So I understand they move with the market.
Well, when you were doing news at MTV and before that at Rolling Stone, it was sort of a first wave of alternative media of a sort. We were moving beyond the networks. I wonder what your take is just on how things have diversified over the years, and as a libertarian, whether that gives you and sort of that point of view more voice than it had in the past.
I'm not sure I understand that, but
like
what do you mean?
I mean, sort of having all these cable channels. I mean, a lot of people have the opportunity to make a film or to make a newscast that didn't before, when there was only 3 networks, and then you sort of added slowly over the years.
It's technology has really democratized everything. I mean, there are movies that can be made now with digital SLR cameras, which is like a Canon, the kind of thing you might have to take out and shoot snapshots. You can make movies on them now because they have video components, and that's just a great thing. It's amazing what can be done with this technology. So it is more democratic. It does allow a greater span of views, and if it can these movies can just be marketed, if people can know they're there, I think is the next challenge. But it's kind of exciting to be in an era when so many people can make movies. It's wonderful.
Hey, Kurt, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate
Great to talk
it,
to you.
and it was fun to talk to you. Good luck with the book.
Thank you very much.